Gabe Bach and Jordan Pugh with you, and we're watching tape on Texas A&M senior-to-be cornerback Davante Harris.
Yes, sir.
Jordan, we're going to look at some plays here last year and what stood out, and really we're plucking out some of the good stuff, some of the things that these players did well, and try to glean moving forward what they could project like as going into the 2015 season. So give us your overall thoughts before we get into the play-by-play on Davante Harris.
Davante. I like him. I like him a lot. I think the biggest thing that you want out of your corner, you want competitive. You want him to be competitive. Yeah. And so he's a fearless competitor. That's what you love, man. He's aggressive. He's around the ball. That's what you love as a corner. You know, he's got to fix the mental side of the game, though. Yep. You know, when you look at an overall guy, he has the physical ability. You know, he has the aggressiveness like we talked about, the instincts, everything that you need. But the mental side is the biggest part that he has to fix. You know, he has to be able to understand situations, understand when to be aggressive, understand when to press, when to back off, when to go after that ball in the air. I think that's the biggest thing that's hurting him or knocking him as of right now is just the mental side. But as an athlete, he's got it all. And you're looking to him to be that leader this year in the secondary. That's something he has to step up. He has to be. You got to find a leader in that group, and he has to emerge as that leader.
And he's got a magnetic personality, and he is a senior-to-be, and this is his last go-around, and he wants to be a leader. Exactly. And it's looking at the spring, like he's trying to do that. Also, all the things you're talking about, some of that might be fixed just in the nature of the scheme, where right now, under John Chavis, the defensive backs and the corners are – your assignment is that man in front of you. Exactly. You go beat him. Exactly. It seems simpler than it used to be before. Maybe your head's not spinning as much as it was before.
And it makes you play faster. Yeah. When you know, here's the thing about when you talk about a man scheme. So you got, you know, your man scheme is schematic in the defense. You know that's your guy. You're locked down. So 90 to 95% of the time, you're locked on one man. That's your responsibility for that game. So it makes your job easier. You know, I told people playing DB all the time, my favorite coverage was man. I know I got him.
That's right.
That's it. That's my only responsibility. When you get into the zone looks, when you get into zone coverages, matching guys, you know, you got crossing routes, seam routes, you know, you got to play match coverages. It makes you think. Yeah. And so when you take the thinking out of it and you just put strictly man coverage on it, it lets you play and it lets you truly be the player that you are, lets you be instinctive, lets you be a ball hawk, all that.
We're going to watch some plays here.
All right, let's do it.
Let's start with an interception that Davante Harris made against LSU on Thanksgiving night at Kyle Field, and we'll display this tape here. Break down what you see. He's right up top, Jordan.
Right now, good hands from the beginning, right there. When you see that, when you see him stifle the receiver, that's exactly what you're looking for in a man-to-man corner. Yeah. He got great hands, and he completely stopped the route. Completely stopped it. The next thing is just being a ball player and making a play, and that's what you see right here.
Ball skills.
That's exactly what you see, and that's the thing that gets you excited about the secondary with A&M, especially with somebody like Harris. He has the ability. Yeah. When you see plays like that,
let's run that again, Ronnie.
And he can stifle the receiver. Look at him.
He's impressed too.
This is a Chavis style defense right there.
That's right.
Right there. You're getting your hands on, and you're eliminating
Chavis's team.
Exactly, and you're eliminating the route. If you're a defensive coordinator, you over there, you want to go get him a birthday cake. Yeah, because he's just that happy.
I want to get a birthday cake right now.
You might as well just celebrate it because that's what you want. You want to stifle the receiver. Basically, what Davante did on that play was he took the receiver out of the game. So they were playing with 10 guys instead of 11. And that's the Chavis-style defense. That's what you want, and that's what you're looking for in the corners if you're Chavis.
How interesting was that, how few amount of times that A&M actually jammed a guy at the line, and they're known for the amount of space. Wide open spaces. That they were giving these receivers where you could dink and dunk all day long, and then they'd get susceptible to the double moves and things like that when they would try to come up. But I like that play right there, a sign of what was to come, and I thought it was pretty interesting that was, little did they know, the defensive coordinator in the press box for the other team would soon be their defensive coordinator playing that style of cornerback.
Well, you got to look at it this way. Chavis came to A&M for a reason. He saw something in the defense that nobody else could see. You know, I've been saying this for a while now that A&M should be top 25 defense. Really, I mean, if you really look at it, top 10. You know, I've been saying that for the past few weeks now because you can see the changes that they're going to make. You can see the aggressive play that they're going to have, and they have the players and the ability to do that, especially with, you know, Harris gaining weight, you know, getting up to, what, the 180, 185 range, being more physical. Yeah. That's something that could be big for the defense.
All right, let's run a second one here. We've got a wide shot first, and it's actually Harris in tackling, something that he told us this week he's gotten a lot better at. He still gets kind of maligned for it a little bit, but let's talk about this. What are you seeing?
I see, first off, great open field tackling, but more than the open field tackling, I see great awareness. Great awareness. So you're looking at a zone coverage. You're looking at a cover 3, where the flat player didn't get out to the flat. They were outflanked on the defense. You saw great recovery, but also you saw great open field tackling. So as a corner, you got to look at it. Corners are also in the box as well. A lot of people don't want to count them in the box because they're just corners.
Sure.
But when you see a corner come up and you make a great tackle, especially on a fullback, a big-sized guy, goes for the outside leg to chop the legs down, that's huge. If you can get corners who can play man in Chavis's defense, who can tackle in open field spaces, man, that's something that is vital to the defense. It's more than the safeties. It's more than the linebackers. Now you're getting all 11 guys involved on the tackling front.
Yeah, we're seeing it one more time.
That's great. And also you look at the awareness. When you look at it, that receiver motion down, they call it to a closed split. That's what they call it. So you have a closed split from that receiver. You run it back one more time for me.
All right, let's go wide.
And you look at it, but that closed split, the closed are reduced. If you look at it from another form, a reduced split, more than likely you're looking for those tight mesh routes and those pick routes to free up.
He sure did. He picked the linebacker.
To free up that fullback in the flat. And so Harris was able to recognize that. And so the awareness that he had, we're talking about the mental side too. Remember, we talked about he has to get better mentally on the mental side of the game. And you saw it from that play. You see the growth in one play and him coming back and being able to make the tackle in open space. So you see everything that he has, and you see the potential in the defense, and that's something that you got to get excited about.
Yeah, he'll still have some busts in the running game.
Right.
He did last year, remember Missouri, where he jumped out of the way?
Yep.
We remember that. We remember Russell Hansborough.
Yes,
I think Russell Hansborough gained 1,000 yards in the third quarter. Most of that running right at Devontae Harris.
Yeah.
But he made more plays than he had ever made. We're going to watch another one. Let's see if I've got it queued up properly. Right. It's going to be the hit on Duke Williams. Should have been a fumble. And this was the game. This was the pass that knocked Duke Williams out of the game in the Auburn game. It was a big play early in the game.
Now, this is something as a defensive back. We can say corner and safety. Now, look at Armani Watson in the picture as well, but also with Harris. When you playing against a zone read team, a zone read team is going to have quick action throws like that off the play action. Yep. So as a corner, the first thing that you want to read, against a zone read team, unless you're in man, read inside out. And so when you're looking at Duke Williams,
Let's do that one more time.
When you're looking at Duke on that play, he's the number 2 receiver.
Okay.
So you're reading inside out. So when he sees that zone action and he sees the flare from the number 2 receiver, he knows he can react right now, especially with a blitz coming. And so coming in outside leg, great tackling right there. Of course, it's a forced fumble. They don't give it to him.
Yeah.
But when you see that and you're able to read that and react, you know you're growing and maturing as a player. And so in those last 2 clips, the one against LSU on the tackle on the fullback, the one on Duke Williams right here, you see the growth and the maturity of him as a corner. Not only just being able to play athletically, but the mental side of the game. So now he's being able to read. He's being able to react faster. It's making him a better player.
Take out the outside leg is something that you say they teach you these days, too.
Exactly. Especially when you're an undersized guy. You can't take everybody head on.
Is that why he goes for the knees so much?
Exactly.
He goes for the, I wouldn't say knees. He's not trying to hurt anybody, but the lower half.
Well, you got to look. He's under what? Well, he was under 180.
Yeah, he was 165 against a 220-pound receiver.
So I played with Trent Williams, Terrence Frederick, those type guys.
Hunter.
I mean, Trent Hunter, excuse me.
Very undersized.
Undersized guys. And when you look at it, they had to tackle knees and below. They had to do it. And a lot of things that they teach you is when you're going to the knees, they teach you to strike the outside leg because you're going to disrupt the inside, of course. They teach you to attack the outside and also a roll to get them down. And so when you see that from Devontae, that's something, man, that's making him a better player by being able to tackle like that in space.
He still kind of got a reputation as an ankle biter, but the old Devontae Harris would have whiffed on those plays.
Right.
And so you're seeing maturity there.
And the thing about it, too, with Chavis coming in, Chavis exudes toughness. So you better be tough if you want to play for Chavis.
Yeah, absolutely.
And so, you see that, and we talk about the ability all the time, but he's going to take on the personality of his coach, and that's a great thing for the defense.
One more play. Mississippi State on the road at Starkville, and it was a pass by Prescott, but now you're seeing late in the frame some closing action.
See, that's all I need to see from that clip. The first thing that you see is he was in off coverage as a corner, but the first thing that you see is a 3-step drop from the quarterback. When you're talking about a 3-step drop, for anybody who doesn't know, that's a quick rhythm throw. So when you have a quick rhythm throw, you can be flat-footed and you can react immediately because you know the pass has to come out now. And so when he reacts, he's going for the pick. You know, Prescott just threw the ball to the outside, you know, was able to just knock it down. But when you see that 3-step drop, when you see that immediate pass, the first thing that you teach a corner is you teach them to look for the 3-step. Anything past the 3-step, you got to get into your back pedal. Mm-hmm. And so you now know that Harris likes to be an aggressive guy. That's just the way he plays. He's just a naturally aggressive player. And so when you let him be aggressive and then you add the vision on top of it, being able to key the quarterback to the receiver, it makes him react a whole lot faster.
All right, so what did we learn today here on Watching Tape with Davante Harris? Biggest strengths, biggest weaknesses, a projection moving into his senior year.
All right, biggest strength is I say instinct and aggressiveness. The corner, you have to be instinctual, you have to be aggressive, and he's competitive. Those are his biggest strengths are those three things. When you look at weakness, it still has to be the mental side of the game. You know, being a corner, and especially with what Chavis wants to bring in when he plays man, people think man eliminates, you know, the mentality of, you know, understanding route combinations, this and that. Man makes you understand it more than anything. Because you got to be able to understand stems. You got to understand, you know, the alignments, different stacks. If they come in on a motion and it's a close formation, whatever it may be. So you got to understand routes even more. The one thing that I was impressed about more with Davante in spring ball was he was running the routes of the receivers. And if you get a corner to do that, he understands what he's doing, and that's huge growth.
All right, very good stuff. Watching tape with Davante Harris. I want to call him Dustin. They both are built like 10th graders, but one of them is now 180 pounds.
There you go.
So that's pretty good.
One of them had a growth spurt.
That's exactly right. And we'll see if he has a growth spurt upstairs and becomes that cornerback that John Chavis needs. He's Jordan Pugh. I'm Gabe Bach here on TexAgs.com.